He is the Hall of Famer from NFL Network and Game Day Morning, Marshall Faulk. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. What's up, Andrew?
Nothing. Before we get to Jared Goff, the Mike Neal and Clay Matthews thing, if you were in their shoes, Marshall, what would you do? Would you go in and talk to the league, or would you stand down?
It's funny because, like, the perception is if you're clean, go in and do what you're supposed to do.
Right.
But then, by collective bargaining, the collective bargain rule, you don't have to. But yet, it's being said that if you don't, then you're not cooperating. I mean, every time we get one of these situations, it turns into a litigation. I really don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. I really don't know what or which stance I would take on this, Andrew. I've been asked this several times by different people, and I can't figure it out.
Well, the natural inclination is to clear your name. But when there are bigger forces at play, if the union wants a bigger fight, then you just maybe become a pawn and you have to sit back and let the union fight the league. And then people say, well, go clear your name. Well, then if I'm suspended, then how do I handle it? How do I look at my teammates? What if I can't get out there on the field for, the first couple of games? I don't know. But I do know this. I do know we have a game Saturday. It's the Rams, it's the Chiefs, and we're going to see more Jared Goff than we did see against the Cowboys in the opener. Do you think that Marshall, with, say, a great performance this week and maybe an equally good performance next week, that he could legitimately win the starting job? Or is it Case Keenum regardless week one?
I think it's Case regardless. Because you can't go backwards, and I believe Jeff and Les, I think they're collectively they understand. It doesn't matter how well he plays. It doesn't matter. I shouldn't say that. It doesn't matter how well he plays. He has to play exceptionally well, or let me say this, because I was with Peyton Manning his rookie year. He has to be able to have the resolve that if things don't go well, it doesn't affect his confidence, and he understands that it's a process. If that can happen, then you can play. If they don't see his abilities to handle those two things, then regardless of how well he plays, you have to sit him and let Case go out there, and then gradually bring him along. And I don't know what week, and I think it's determined on how well he plays, what week you bring him in. But he can lift the team. But if you start him and it doesn't go well and you have to pull him, then it could hurt the team. And I think the important thing is, and we have to think about this, Jeff's coaching in the last year of his contract.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it was with Peyton Manning. I mean, we can't go 3-13. So Jared can learn.
When you were with Peyton, you knew, right? I mean, you knew when you were in the huddle with him, when you were in practice, that he had it immediately, right?
Right. Right.
You've been to Irvine. You've been to Irvine. Have you seen that with Goff yet?
Yeah. He you know what? It's that same ownership of the huddle. It's the command, and you watch the people around him. And I don't want to take anything away from Case. I think Case has done a great job. But the minute Jared walks in the huddle, there's just like a little perk. And guys, men, we as men, we know alpha males. We know the guys when they step in the huddle, when they walk into the locker room. And I believe Jared has handled himself accordingly. It's going to come down to experience and how well can he learn from his mistakes, because he's walking into a situation, unfortunately, that can destroy a lot of other quarterbacks. It has destroyed a lot of other quarterbacks, which is this team is ready to win now. They have to win now.
and they get 2 division games right out of the gate as well, with San Francisco and
Out
Seattle
of the
then at
gate.
home, which
Out of
which
the
which
gate.
has to
Yep.
factor. This is Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk joining us on the Dan Patrick Show. I'm Andrew Siciliano sitting in for Dan. I've kind of lost track with all of us going everywhere for training camp. Were you in Denver yet? Have you been there?
No, I haven't. I haven't been to Denver.
All right. Judging from
Didn't
afar.
make it there this year.
Okay. Judging from afar, you think Trevor Siemian gets that job?
It's tough to say, but it's looking like that's the case. Now I don't know how comfortable they are with it, and I think they're going to take the same approach. I think Sanchez is going to get the start, and it'll be a short leash for him. Short leash. I think that's the case for him.
I guess the question is, can you change who you are after, I think Sanchez is in his 8th or 9th year now. And Mark is, and I think we saw it in the first preseason game, you get a touchdown, you get a pick, and that's generally what his numbers have been. He's a touchdown for every pick and a pick for every touchdown.
With the right coaching, I believe you can play different. And I think, and I used to always tell people about Alex Smith, the process that he went through in 4 years. I mean, in 5 years, having 5 different offensive coordinators. How tough that is. He gets Andy Reid. He's in Kansas City, and now Alex is helping the team win. He's the reason they're winning games. He's not the reason that they're losing games, nor is he managing games. Alex Smith is a viable quarterback in this league, and I think that with the right coaching, Mark Sanchez can be that. But in reality, when you put him, let's say, in situations and it's sink or swim, he tends to sink. You know, like that Follies play, the butt fumble tends to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that one lives in infamy. It's going to be replayed 100 times. It was replayed, I think, last week when he threw a pick in Chicago. He's never going to escape it. But this is, Marshall, there's part of me that really wants him to do well here because, if you compare it to a plane, he's being put in the perfect cockpit here, right? He has the wide receivers. He's got the backs. The line might be a little sketchy. They got 4 new starters, but he's got the defense. Everything is set up for him here. Part of me wants to see him do well because I think it's a great story if he does.
Well, I'll be honest with you, and brutally honest, that is. This is it.
Yeah.
He's been on teams, and you've looked around and wondered, okay, what is it? Well, you're being put in a situation. And as great as Peyton Manning was last year, at times this team, they carried Peyton. Granted, he came through at times for this team. They didn't need a whole lot from the quarterback position in a say of stats and putting up points. So this is the best situation for Mark. If you can't come into this situation, seize the day, take advantage of an opportunity, and become the starter of this team, you will be a backup for life. That's it.
Real quick, the headline when Tom Brady comes back week 5, Marshall Faulk, to face the Browns is what? Are the Patriots 4-0 and he just takes the keys back, or is it Tom Brady comes back to save the day because Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't hold down the fort?
What team will they be playing? Who's that
That'd be week 5 would be Josh Gordon's return as well against the Cleveland Browns.
We're on the Browns. We're on the Cleveland Browns. That's what they're going to say. We're on to the Cleveland Browns. New England is going to pretend like nothing is different. Like Tom Brady he'll be having his first start. Everything will be different for everybody else in the league. And Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and the rest of everybody within that building is going to act like nothing happened. Tom wasn't missing for 4 weeks. And they won't answer any questions about the suspension.
Nope, they won't. They get the Cardinals on Sunday night, the SNF game on NBC to open. Then it's the Dolphins, the Texans, the Bills at home. And worst case scenario, they're 2-2. They're probably 3-1. And then they go on the road and they face the Browns. And Tom Brady probably, sorry Browns fans, scores 50. put up some 50 burger on him. Marshall Faulk, Hall of Famer, along with yours truly and Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson in the booth. NFL Network will join us in progress. We'll be on CBS 2 in L.A. The Rams and the Chiefs at the Coliseum. More Jared Goff, please, coming up on Saturday. Thanks for getting up early, man. I'll see you Saturday.
Oh, no problem. Looking forward to it, Andrew.
Yes, sir. Marshall Faulk, everybody.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.